earlier, just a couple minutes ago, I'm laughing because you mentioned Garland, and I have a game that I like to play. It's going to take just a couple seconds, 2 minutes. Hopefully you're up for it. Are you up for just a little quick game right now? Have you heard? It's Patriot, Traitor, Pass. Okay. Have you heard that like drinking game where it's like, I'm going to date her, I'm going to marry her, or I'm going to pass? Have you heard that? You played that before?
I don't think that that's how the drinking game works, but
it doesn't. But I'm playing
not
to
the
a
FMK game.
Audience, but we call it Patriot, Traitor, Pass.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm just going to give you a couple names, and you let me know if you think they're a patriot or traitor, or you want to pass. But from you, I'm expecting a little bit more than a pass. Just going to let you throw it out there. Okay, we talked about Garland. What about Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House?
Do you need a third option, which is neither? Because we could do a 20-minute discussion on Mike Johnson.
So then basically you're saying you're going to come back on my show later once you've thought about it, and we'll just do a more in-depth on something.
I would say that he veers more toward Patriot, honestly, but it's complicated. That has to be not just pass, it's complicated.
Okay, we'll do the James Lindsay edition. It's complicated. Patriot, Traitor, it's complicated. Taylor Swift.
No, Traitor.
Okay, thank you. Robert Kennedy.
Is weirdo in it? Is that an option?
James, this is not your show. Okay, I already let you go with it. It's complicated.
Yeah, I know, but
complicated.
I'm just saying. I don't know. Pass.
How about Donald Trump?
No, Patriot.
Okay. George W. Bush.
No, Traitor.
Ben Shapiro.
Patriot. With a laugh.
Okay, okay. Another column for
because I won't say this immediately next to Ben Shapiro's name. Never mind. Okay. There's a reason these people are complicated.
What about Vivek?
Patriot.
Jordan Peterson.
Canadian. No, Jordan's legit. He's a patriot. I think he's an academic, which is another category we can't use because it's not my show.
Okay.
Well, academics are in general, and I'm sorry, Jordan, if you hear this, somewhat naive to the political forces around them in general.
Well, hopefully this gets to him. We'll see what he has to say about it. What about Russell Brand? He's kind of in the academic arena now.
I think he's actually probably a patriot, but
British.
It's complicated because not just British. He's like also like New Age.
Right. But I don't know if you know, he's getting very religious. He's exploring Catholicism, taking his spirituality and his very seriously. Are you still a card-carrying atheist over there? What's going on?
I don't know if I have a card.
Do you want me to get
Charlie Kirk makes me call myself agnostic now.
Okay, so what about Charlie Kirk?
Patriot.
Tucker Carlson?
Oof.
Oh, I was not expecting that.
AOC for the right.
Ooh. Oh, that was not a column that I was expecting. Okay, you're coming back. We're going to talk about this. Jeff Bezos?
I mean, the big CEOs, they veer toward traitor.
Okay, so then Elon Musk?
Autistic.
James,
I'm telling you, these people these are not traitor. I'm too autistic to call somebody a traitor who just thinks that like this crazy cool technology that you could build that could be used for the worst possible purposes ever, right, but it'll be fine, man. Don't worry about it. Like, I don't think that Elon actually has bad intentions if that's what this is really about. In other words, patriot, if I have to pick that way.
I see what you're saying, but his first brain chip patient is doing really well, I heard. Okay, so, I mean, we've talked about communism, queer theory, the border, conservatives, Christian nationalism. All of this being said, all of your work, we have a couple minutes left before you have to go. What do you want your James Lindsay legacy to be?
I want so communism and things like it have been a persistent problem in the world, at least, for just communism for at least 200 years. Mm-hmm. And somehow it's like we kind of defeat it and then it comes back, and we kind of defeat it and it comes back. I don't want it to come back again. I want to dig it out by the root, and I want to get to the bottom of what it is, how it developed, and create eventually, though probably other people do most of the creating, educational materials that prevent it from finding its way as easily into our societies in the future. But I want a full, proper diagnosis that goes to what the root of it actually is, which I don't think has been done. I think we've been actually fighting the wrong thing, and that's why it keeps coming back. So that's what I want to pull the whole thing up by the roots, which if that means I have to grab the serpent from Genesis by the tail and rip it out of the ground, that's what I'm working on.
Okay, well, I'm here for that as well. And we are with you every step of the way, in whatever way we can support you. Everybody, huge thank you to James, Lindsay. You're incredible. And again, really, truly an inspiration to me. When is your queering of the American child? It's dropping on February 29th, right? Is it?
That's right. The queerest day of the calendar. We did it on purpose.
Calendar. So we will keep an eye out for the queering of the American child. We will read it and share it with as many people as possible. Any last words you'd like to leave with our audience before we let you go to your next interview, your next engagement?
Yeah, I got to go talk to the Australians next. Last words are don't lose faith on this country. If you're listening to this, you're a patriot, you're probably frustrated. Don't lose faith on this country. If you're a Christian, I usually tell people, why do you doubt God's timing, when they start getting all frustrated? And I leave you with the words of a friend of mine, Jason Preston from Utah, where he says this a lot. He says that he thinks that this is a, pivotal moment in history. And he asks the audience, he says, do you think God would send his second string to that kind of fight? And if you obviously would say no, because you're a Christian and you're faithful, then guess what? You're first string. So you got to get in the game, and you have to play like varsity, not JV. So if you've got to do that. And all this kind of cowboys versus communist stuff is junior varsity. Keep faith in this country, and that its mechanisms and that its good people can be brought back to putting it back in order. That's what's going to save it, is people that still have faith in it.
Wow. Thank you, James. That was perfect. I couldn't agree with you more. And again, I really appreciate your time and your work and everything you've done for our country and our children. So thank you so much for being here.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. We'll talk to you soon.